Hey bitches, welcome back to my channel. I was just sitting here scrolling through like DMs that I have from people over on TikTok, and I received a few clips of Jeffree Star from his live streams. I don't know if anybody watches Jeffree Star when he's live over on TikTok when he's doing like the product reviews, but since Jeffree is live on TikTok literally 24/7 unless he's sleeping, he records all of his TikTok videos with an audience and they're all like looking from the side from a different device. I have tuned in a few times as he's doing it, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like a Jeffree Star thing. I don't think it's a Jeffree Star thing. I just think it's like every influencer when you see them like in the wild and you actually see them like putting together their TikTok. If y'all ever come across somebody out in public like doing a TikTok, like a dance, it's like so cringe to me for some reason. So Jeffree was doing a review for this new Urban Decay foundation that honestly looked like he was taking paint and putting it all over his face. It was supposed to like set itself, but it dried down really quickly and it did not look good. Well, there's some tea with this because I've seen other influencers review this Urban Decay foundation and they just say it's like the most amazing thing ever. You know that Jeffree's thing is it Jeffree Star approved or not? And it actually gets on a lot of influencers' nerves over on TikTok because whenever they review a product, a lot of people will go into their comment section and they'll be like, well, I don't trust any reviews other than Jeffree Star. Well, then go the over there and watch his video. Somebody commented underneath his TikTok and said, this is exactly what happened when I tried this. Nobody else has talked about this. So Jeffree responded and said, they're probably getting paid to say it's great. Now, I don't know who that could have been shade at because we all know there are many influencers over there that are lying for a paycheck. Two of the biggest names that are like off the top of my head of people that are always getting accused of lying for a paycheck is Glamzilla as well as Mikayla Nogueira. Honestly, another person that gets called out for that all the time over on TikTok is Alex Earl. You know, really gone are the days of Jeffree Star popping off on people on social media, like in his comment section. You guys remember back in the day, like 2018, 2019 Jeffree Star on Twitter, but somebody responded to Jeffree underneath his comment and said, so much criticism about every other cosmetics foundation, but when is yours coming out? To which Jeffree responded, that has nothing to do with this review. Stay on the subject. Do you think that when Jeffree finally launches his foundation, there's gonna be some like major drama that surrounds it? Like, remember the concealers that he came out with, those magic stars, and somebody broke in through the ceiling at the warehouse? Does anybody know whatever happened to that lady that was like selling them on Facebook Marketplace, and then like the FBI or someone got involved and showed up at her house and they put pictures of her house all over social media and she had like all these cameras in different directions? I really do wonder what happened to her. Is she in prison? There's a lady over on TikTok named Colby that is calling out a lot of influencers when they do like trends or they're just trying to make a beauty product seem like more than what it is. Her whole shtick is that she's not an influencer, so she's gonna let you know if your favorites are lying to you about a certain product. Well, she stitched one of Glamzilla's videos the other day, this video where Glamzilla was trying on a red lip and then was showing that if you put setting spray over it, it's not going to be transferred. This lady sprayed the hell out of her lips with some setting spray and it did not work the way that Glamzilla said that it was working.
Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
Unfortunately, I've lost faith in a lot of influencers, so I'm gonna test it myself so you don't have to. Where the f is it? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna use my Smashbox lipstick. So she applied her red lipstick, and to prove this one transfers, she did a test like this and a test like this. Then she applied one size setting spray, and apparently her lipstick no longer transferred. I'm about to eat so many chemicals right now. I'm gonna let it dry for a second. Here's the old kiss mark. Let's see if it transfers. Fingers wise. Okay, lie number one. Alrighty. Then she did another test. This is embarrassing for her. It's actually worse. I think what she did is this. They're lying to you. It doesn't look as vibrant and pretty as it did when I started. Don't get lied to by these big influencers. Send me hacks, I'll test them for you.
Speaking of Glamzilla real quick, did you guys see that she's like the face of the Huda Beauty setting powder, the unfragranced one? Well, Glamzilla just got back from Dubai. She was flown over there by Huda Beauty to shoot the campaign. It was only her. And there are people, including myself, that are wondering like, why was Mikayla Nogueira not asked to do this like Huda Beauty campaign? The reason that I'm curious about this is because it was either in 2023 or 2022 when Mikayla made a video and she was like asking like, this is my favorite setting powder. I just wish it didn't have the fragrance. And then Huda Beauty sent her one that did not have any fragrance in it. And Mikayla was just like over the moon. If because of that, you're going to come out with the product and you're going to have one without fragrance, why would you not like include Mikayla in that? Now, I have seen people talking about this over on TikTok, and there are some that are thinking that maybe this powder was in the works for like a good long while, and Mikayla was just the one that like worked with Huda Beauty to get like the public interest up. I don't know about all that, but maybe Mikayla was just booked and maybe she was busy. Do y'all remember the TikTok user Pinky Doll, the one that went like viral over there in like 2023 for doing the NPC character on her live stream? And people ate that shit up, and it started a trend, and every time you would go on TikTok live streams, all you would see is people like acting like this like little character like this. I don't know how they did that for so long. There are still some people that I see over on TikTok doing the NPC live streams and they're like out in public. They're standing on like a street corner and just doing it. How they haven't had someone try to swipe their phone, I don't know. But Pinky Doll is getting talked about right now for a few different reasons. She's tried to like switch her content from the NPC to be like a mukbang channel, but not just like a mukbang channel that sits down and like talks to you and they're just like eating food during. She's tried to become one like a Foodie Beauty or a Nikocado Avocado. Like myself over on our vlog channel, I do enjoy doing videos where I'm like eating my lunch and I will sit there and I'll make a video just like talking. But I don't understand how people literally sit there and just shovel plate upon plate upon plate upon plate of food into their mouths. Well, one of the reasons that Pinky Doll is getting called out right now is because she did a video in her car where she was eating, it looked like Domino's pizza. She had a cheesy bread as well as like a large pizza. Well, in this video, as she's eating it, there are a lot of cuts. And sometimes when she cuts it, like a huge chunk of a piece of pizza is gone. So her audience is now clocking her and calling her out, saying that she is actually lying to them and that she is not eating all that food and she's just trying to make it appear as if she is. Can you imagine eating all of that cheesy bread as well as that whole entire large pizza? The toilet is going to blow up, girl. Back in the day when I would see clips of Nikocado Avocado and he would just be like shoveling shit into his mouth, I just have to like think to myself like what that toilet has seen and what that toilet has gone through. That porcelain Jesus, bitch. Even God would become an atheist with that. The other thing that's going on with Pinky Doll is her audience is actually turning against her and they do not like this new gimmick that she is doing at all because she's not that great of an actress. People are coming to find out. It's honestly so crazy to me how many people are fascinated by like the whole NPC thing with people doing it on TikTok live. Like to me personally, it's not exciting when someone's like, ooh, ice cream so good. Ooh, ice cream so good, and keep saying it over and over and over again, or they make some comment about a hot dog. Well, there's this video clip that Pinky Doll uploaded herself, and it was POV when she passed out while doing one of her videos. The acting in this video is so cringe and just like so bad. She wanted to make it look like she ate too much of whatever the hell it was. It looked like some kind of like giant Cinnabon. That she ate too much of it and it caused her to like actually pass out because she wasn't feeling well. She was down like in that Cinnabon for like a good long while. I don't know how she was breathing.
Yeah, I don't figure. Yeah, I really don't figure it, guys.
People think that Pinky Doll is trying like a little bit too hard to find some new gimmick that people are going to stick with and that she's going to still be able to have those viral moments. It's kind of crazy to me that in 2024, when we have people like Nikocado Avocado, Foodie Beauty, as well as Amberlynn Reed, that people don't look at that and say like that is not a healthy lifestyle at all. And there are people out there that actually want to mimic that like a Pinky Doll. It's just sad to me that there are people out there that will literally ruin their health for some views and some clicks on social media. I guess that I have another update for you guys about Ammo Barbie. Do you remember Ammo Barbie, the lady from TikTok that was on the live stream with the guy that was in the wheelchair inside of his closet and she was just being a nasty bitch to him? She's also the one that was on that live stream with the guy Hydro that said that she actually sent him $70,000 on TikTok just like in gifts alone, and then let it out that she allegedly used her soon-to-be ex-husband's credit cards to like max them because they were going through a divorce. Well, it appears that karma is not done with her and it is still knocking at her door because she's actually in jail right now. She was apparently arrested the other day for breaking into someone's home, and she was on a live stream when the police were knocking at her door. So everybody that was like dragging her over on TikTok or like literally having a field day with this, they put her mugshot everywhere. I don't know, I just feel like it's kind of like a poetic ending for how nasty she was to that man in that wheelchair. So let's talk about Leo Skepi again, because it's been a very interesting 24 hours for him. He did actually delete the video that I showed you guys yesterday, the one where he gave the very hot take about clothing brands and how not every clothing brand is going to cater to everyone out there, so people basically need to stop bitching about it and that they need to put their energy into other things and other brands that actually do support them. I have to tell you guys, it's so interesting like looking at the audience's reaction over on TikTok versus what it was over here on YouTube. On TikTok, everybody was against Leo, with like a handful of people saying like, oh my god, this is such an amazing take. Well, over here on YouTube, majority of people were agreeing with what Leo had to say, and there was like a handful of people that were saying that his take actually was shit. There were so many TikTokers that were like chiming in on this take that Leo had, like making their own videos. It got so freaking out of control that every time that I would scroll, it would be Leo Skepi, Leo Skepi, Leo Skepi, Leo Skepi. It took me forever to get out of that algorithm. There were two main people that were getting tagged underneath Leo's video and on any video that was stitching that as well, and that was Drew Afuelo and Fannita. Now, Fannita is the lady that they thought that Leo was actually responding to, somebody that he has actually hung out with in the past. The reason that people thought that Leo was actually responding to Fannita is because not long before he posted his video, she had uploaded a video letting brands know why people are not interested or buying their plus size sections. And basically it's that the selection sucks. Brands are not putting time and energy into plus size sections at all, and so they get like the bottom of the barrel designs. Well, Fannita, after getting tagged all freaking night about this Leo Skepi video, has actually uploaded a response to that, and here it is.
Let me tell y'all something.
One, I'm known for standing on business. Two, if I made a video 48 hours ago defending and advocating for the plus size community as I've been doing since I've lost weight and no longer am considered plus size, what makes you bird brain bitches think my mind has changed in the short span of 40 hours ago, right? If I constantly advocate for plus size people on every single platform, I'm never scared to say the quiet shit out loud, and I've continuously talked about my experience being fat, what makes you bitches think that my mind has changed and I would agree with some bullshit like that? Second of all, stop making POC women pay for the crimes of what men say. Me and Drew didn't say the shit. Y'all know what the fuck me and Drew think. Me and Drew don't have to say it's dead ass wrong for y'all to know that it's dead ass wrong, especially when y'all already know what we think. Stop putting us on the cross. And please, I don't want to pay for nobody's sins but my own. Thank you. And for those of you saying, oh my gosh, she probably agrees with him, I would pop you in your mouth, bitch. Because you know I don't agree with that shit. I know y'all want me to be this bad person, this mean, evil person so bad, but it never gave and it's never gonna give, because the real bitches who watch my content constantly already know what I think. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, y'all need to learn how to just have an opinion without hearing somebody else tell you that it's the right or wrong opinion. You know what the is right or wrong. You don't need to hear Fannita say nothing. You know that shit was wrong. You know what he said was fucked up. We all know what he said was up. But stop trying to drag us in shit that ain't got shit to do with us. Handle him. I stick up for y'all on my worst day. Y'all ain't never got to come check me about shit when it comes to the plus size community. Fat phobia is rampant. It's not shocking when people are fat phobic. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gagged. Just like when y'all be saying the N-word. It don't be gagging me. That didn't gag me. Everybody's fat phobic. I'm not surprised that he said that. Like, What that's just is rooted into society. I don't know what you guys want me to do. Stop trying to force black women and POC women to stay in the front lines when white men say shit. I'm not paying no price for no white man. I'm sorry. Stop dragging me into white people's bullshit. No shade. And lastly, y'all use the term best friend super loosely. If my best friend seen them comments, she slapped the out y'all. Stop calling everybody my friend. That's why nobody else is ever allowed to collab with me ever again in their life. Especially if you white, no shade. I can't be seen with y'all. Y'all do too much.
Drew has made a response to this whole entire Leo Skepi situation, and I have to say, like, almost immediately when Leo's video went live, her name was getting dropped, like, tagged in his comment section, and people were getting upset with her that they had not seen, like, some kind of reaction, like a comment, or she had not, like, jumped on it immediately to make her own video. I have to say, I don't think that she was too happy with that, because in her response, she was letting everyone know, like, hey, you guys have followed me for a while. This is what my content is. If you don't know Drew, her career is basically calling out douchebag men. Now, she did not drop Leo's name in this video for everybody that wanted that soundbite, but she did give everybody a rundown of how deep fat phobia actually goes on social media.
Hey, I want to talk to y'all about something important and topical, and then we're not going to talk about it anymore after this. First things first, if y'all see something happen on this app that you know for a fact I have spoken out against and I genuinely do not support and never have, there's absolutely no reason for you to ask what my thoughts are on it. You should know what my thoughts are on it. That's one. Two, the subject of fat phobia is constantly discussed on this app, a lot of times in a way that is unhelpful and unproductive, a lot of times in ways that is disguised as motivation but is actually just bigotry. And by that I mean this: fat phobia goes far beyond insults. It goes far beyond jokes about people being whales, cows, whatever the you want to call fat people, and I've been called it all. Believe me, you bitch. The amount of fat phobia I've experienced online in the last 2-3 years would shock you, bitch. In fact, it would traumatize most of you. In the same way that misogyny isn't just jokes about women making sandwiches, fat phobia is not just jokes about weight. It goes so far deeper than that. Fat phobia is literally ingrained in every part of our culture, our government, our healthcare system, etc. People literally die because of fat phobia in the medical industry. So when people get on this app and act like fat phobia is just hurt feelings, it's ignorant and it's disrespectful for many reasons. So if you yourself think that you're not fat phobic because at one point you were overweight, first of all, that's not the same thing as being fat. It's really important that you know the difference, because people who are overweight and people who are fat and live as a fat person have a much different life experience than you. So you cannot speak on something that you personally have never experienced. And past that, if you don't think you're fat phobic, but you're upholding fat phobic rhetoric, guess what, bitch? You're fat phobic. Sorry, don't know how else to break that to you, but 1 + 1 = 2. And last, stop blaming women of color for things that white people do on their own. They did that with their own brain and their own thoughts. Believe it or not, when we spend time with people in real life, they don't always show us shit like that, okay? Sometimes we find out when the rest of you do, and then we move accordingly. That's it. Love you. Bye.
Another person that knows Leo, and I guess that she had him on her podcast at one time or another, is Trisha Paytas. Now, I have not seen this episode. I don't know how long ago this was, but some of y'all in my comment section yesterday were like letting me know that Leo is actually like into some really creepy shit. Like apparently he follows like cult leaders, and that there was like something about fantasizing about some brutal murder. Like I don't know what it is. I guess I'm gonna have to go find this episode of Trisha with him. But Trisha on her podcast was discussing this hot take from Leo, and she said that when she was like scrolling her TikTok in the morning while she was eating breakfast, it was nothing but stitches. I feel like she was more so like confused, like why would you actually upload this?
Leo Skepi, did you see this?
No.
Love Leo. Anyone who comes on my podcast, I will like stand forever. Like I truly do. So I just think he had a pretty bad take on this one.
God, I'm nervous.
Yeah, especially because he is a former fat person. Leo does a TikTok and not really in response, but like kind of, because it literally was all like in the past 48 hours, where he's like, you know, it's not the clothes that are ugly, it's your body that's ugly in the clothes. Yeah, he's like, you're just fat and it's not cute and like all this stuff like that. So basically, he's like, you don't get the right to like complain about brands because they want to cater to a specific look or specific body. So he's kind of like defending the corporate side, the business side, all these like people make so much money, and just telling people that are complaining online to like, you don't get a right to complain. First of all, I feel like it's America. Everyone can complain about whatever. You're a consumer. You're allowed to complain. And just a really hot take. I was just like, that's kind of wild. And he basically was just like, you don't get to complain. It's your body that's ugly, not the clothes. And it's like, no, the clothes are horrendous. Go to Torrid, go to Lane Bryant. Horrible. Yeah, it was such a weird take. And like my whole For You page this morning when I was like eating breakfast was all this like stitching, and a lot of big girls and just big people in general just like, and me too. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I love Leo, and I do think his like tough love is like such a good approach, especially like losing weight and like motivated. Like, it helps a lot of people. But this was just like such a weird take to like big people, just to be like, it's not the clothes that's ugly, it's you. And I was like, that's such a weird. And also to say like, don't complain, and also like, I don't know. He obviously doesn't get it, right? Like, he's not shopping in these things.
She did say that his tough love approach is kind of like a good thing because it does help a lot of people out. There are a lot of people out there that do not want shit like sugar-coated for them at all. I do not like shit being sugar-coated for me. So something about Leo that Tess Holiday, when she made her response video yesterday, like completely missed. I guess that she probably like watched maybe like the first half of his video and was like, I've heard enough. I need to sit down and make my own. He talked briefly in his hot take video, but if you followed Leo for a while, then you would know that he used to be overweight himself and he's been like kind of on like a fitness journey. Well, in Tess Holiday's video, a lot of you guys clocked it yesterday that she said like, you don't deal with this and you've never dealt with this. But he literally said it in the video, girl. So as I told you guys, Leo deleted his original hot take video, and he has uploaded a new video explaining his side of the situation and why he said basically what he said. He didn't say he was sorry like that. He did say that he would basically try to like work on it a little bit, I guess. Well, in this video, he was talking about like why he talks like that and why he is so hard on himself and like the things that he will say to himself to kind of like get him out of a funk. And I have to say, all those people that were upset with him yesterday on his original video, all of a sudden are singing a different tune, because yesterday it was nothing but horrible comments underneath that video, and today I couldn't find one negative.
All right, to hit this properly, the ego is checked at the door. I got some shit to own up to. I deleted the video because it does the opposite of what I want to do. It made a lot of people feel unsafe with me, and that's the last thing that I want. So this is not gonna be a sappy apology video and be manipulative to try and win anybody over. This all made me realize the time in my life when I was overweight actually does trigger the out of me. And it's not the body and the way that I looked that triggered me. It's the painful mindset I was stuck in that I do not want to be reminded of. My whole childhood and early adulthood, I felt very trapped and powerless in a body and a mind that I hated. It wasn't my physical appearance. I thought it was. It was really feeling like I had no control over my life and what that perception did to me. And now whenever I feel powerless, I say jarring shit to myself to snap me out of an old mentality and look for empowerment. But me sharing that in the up way that I did was to help a lot of you, and it ended up hurting a lot more of you instead because you feel like I judge you for the way that you look. And it also made a lot of people feel like I was judging them for wanting to feel included. That's not what I stand for at all. I never want anyone to feel uncomfortable or unsafe around me, ever. But the way that I said things in that video made a lot of you feel disempowered and criticized instead of feeling like I was looking out for you. And that's always my actual intent, and that don't sit right with me. So the video's gone. But not finding my size in things is something I deal with daily. I'm 6'7" and a size 16 shoe. Clothes are a pain in the ass. Shoes, rarely ever find. Bags, the strap rarely long enough. Doesn't fit over my body. But that's a situation for me that makes me feel very powerless, is when my size is not made. And like I said, I say triggering shit to myself to look for the control I do have when I'm looking at things that make me feel disempowered. And when a brand doesn't make my size, I look at it like saying F them versus giving them my attention and begging them to include me or bullying them to include me. It's 2024. These brands know that people come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. They're aware. They're choosing not to make certain things. Either it's a financial decision or it's an attempt to actually exclude you. But my personal relationship to that is feeling disempowered and not giving any of my attention to it. But not everybody has my same relationship to this scenario or the same relationship to feeling powerless. And I don't like that my shit made a lot of people feel hurt. That's my thing to deal with. Everybody is allowed to freely speak their mind. Shouldn't have said that because I was doing it in that video. But the thing I should have communicated better was I find my power in absence. So I'm not gonna give attention to the brands who don't cater to me. I'm gonna go find the brands and focus on the ones that do, or make my own stuff when I can. With all this being said, my aversion to powerlessness and my own relationship to it and my poor communication of that made a lot of you think that I have an aversion to you because of the way that you look. And I wanna make sure everyone knows that is 100% not true. I actually do wanna say thank you to everyone who voiced their opinion and told me how hurt you were by this, because it really made me reflect. When people say I'm hurt, that's my wake-up call of like, you did something, because that's never my intent. So instead of sitting here and saying I'm sorry, because those are just words and they don't do anything for anybody, I'm gonna give you my word that I'm gonna continue to do any work necessary to make sure that you always know and feel that I'm looking out for you and I'm here to protect you.
Well, at the end of the day, Leo has addressed this, and in a very timely manner, mind you. Like, a lot of influencers out here would literally wait like a few weeks or just not address it at all and just keep it pushing. He did say at the beginning of the video it wasn't gonna be like a normal kind of like apology. I would have liked to see maybe like a gray tank top, because he wore the black tank top that he was wearing in the original video. Obviously he wasn't gonna wear a gray hoodie, but the gray tank top could have been like a nicer touch. Were you upset with his original take, or were you someone that agreed with him? Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section, and leave me whatever the hell emoji you want to leave down below. I will see you guys all later. I am going to go and make a hot dog. I am so freaking hungry right now, you guys. Bye.